this court storming thing, I mean, look, I don't think that it should be banned at all. You're giving kids an opportunity. I mean, that's part of a college experience. If we want kids to have a college experience, it is what it is. So, do they need to put some safeguards in? Yeah, they do. I mean, you can't just let kids run over other kids because the first thing that we always talk about is, hey, let kids be kids. Well, aren't they kids on the court too? I mean, that's the first thing is you got to remember these aren't professionals technically. You know, they're not technically professionals. So you got to put some safeguards in to allow kids to get off the court. So you got to allow them to get off the court. So, and some people over on TikTok said he didn't get run over. I mean, the one kid did hit him in the back. I mean, do we not forget about that? I'm not talking about him, the guy running in front of him, because look, Filipowski stuck his arms out to push that kid that ran in front of him. That absolutely happened. That happened. But there was another kid that did hit him in the back or pushed him in the back, whatever you want to call it. He did that. I mean, that happened. So saying, well, you got to stop losing games. I'm like, well, everybody doesn't win every single game, do you? I mean, I don't, that part, that's a ridiculous argument. We'll never lose. Never in your life lose a basketball game and then you don't have to go deal with it. I'm like, okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. My whole thing is let the kids storm the court. Just put some safeguards out there. That's all. Then we got idiots on TikTok saying, I'm soft. You're soft. I'm like, okay, I'm soft because I don't want somebody to get, because what will happen is somebody's going to end up getting laid out. One of those kids is going to run into the wrong person and they're going to get their ass laid out. Then you're going to want to blame the kid from Duke or from North Carolina or from Kansas or from Kentucky. You're going to want to blame them. But why? So I just, you put some safeguards in place. That's all you got to do. So that's all you got to do. Then people, they should have understood that it was at the end of the game. The game was close. What are you talking about? So I have to give up trying to win because of a court storming? Is that what we're saying? Hey, don't try to win this game. I know it's at the end and it's close. Don't try to win. Give that up so you can get off the court. I mean, oh my gosh. It's just, how about we just put some security in place? Can we just not do that? Is that asking too much? I've seen it at other places. Hell, at Kansas State, they put ropes up around and let kids just run onto the court, but they protect the players so they can get in the handshake line if there is a handshake line. It happens. It happens at plenty of places. This one, there was just nothing. They just said, let them run on, nothing in place. I don't know how much he's hurt, but if he got hurt even a little bit, isn't a little bit too much? Or do we not care about that? Because apparently some people on TikTok just don't care if anybody gets hurt. Their thing is don't lose and Katie bar the door. I wonder why you don't feel the same way about NBA or NFL games. I mean, they don't let anybody on the field in any of those aspects in a professional game. Now, why exactly is that? Because they know for a fact if one of these snot-nosed people run up to a professional, one of these men, they're going to get laid out. That's exactly what's going to happen. They are going to get laid out, and then there's going to be lawsuits and all this other kind of stuff. They just don't let you on. And so in college, I don't think that should be the answer, just to not let anybody on, but you have to put some safeguards out there. You have to. And I don't think that's that hard to do. I mean, just put some people in there. So, and again, I've been a part of it. I've been on it on football and basketball, court storming and field storming. I've been on the losing side and the winning side. Now, it was 100 years ago, don't get me wrong, but in basketball, I didn't feel threatened. I didn't even think anything about it. I got to get to the locker room and just walk to the locker room. But it was a different time because people coming out of the stands weren't trying to get in your face. Nobody just ran up to you and pointed their finger at you, yelled at you. They didn't do any of that. They were trying to get to the celebration. So there was a difference. Now, that is not the case. Now, if people are running on the court, people are trying to get in your face. They got their cell phone in your face, yelling in your face. And yes, you can have more composure. Yes, you could have more composure. But for the most part, people, I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. And nobody said it happened. Nobody said that somebody was running in somebody's face on Saturday. I didn't say that. I said it happened to me. Or it didn't happen. It has happened. We act like we haven't seen video footage of people getting in somebody's face when they're on the field. Kansas did it this year to a player from Oklahoma. He's standing right next to him, yelling at him, putting an L in his face while he's recording him, and then a guy behind him is threatening to punch him if the guy does anything. We saw that. That literally happened. That I don't think anybody thinks that's okay, do we? Do we think that that's okay? And if you do think that that's okay, are you okay with the result of, hey, this guy's in my face and I pushed him out of my face? Are you okay with that? That's my only thing. Are you okay with the result? You have to be if you're okay with the instigation. Again, storm the court and just go be happy and go celebrate. Why do you have to get in somebody else's face? I never got that. I take that back. I do get that. Because the only people that ever get in anybody's face in those situations are the people that can't play, were never any good, and this is their claim to fame. I'm going to go, look, I was never good enough to be out here, so I got to go and yell and get in this guy's face. You know it, and I know it. Those are the only people that do that. And they ruin it for 98% of the people because most people aren't doing that. They're just trying to be out there, have fun, which is exactly what it should be. Good point. Somebody says people that haven't ever won anything can't act like they've been there. That's exactly right. But I wouldn't say that necessarily for basketball for a team. It doesn't matter. Look, if you want to celebrate a big win, celebrate a big win. Don't get mad because another team, look, you're really good. We haven't always been good. We beat you. We're happy. We're storming the field. We're storming the court. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't get in the other team's face when you're doing it. If we could eliminate that part of it, I think everything would be fine. So I think everything would be fine. But instead, we can't eliminate that. And since we can't eliminate that, look, you guys know it. I know it. There's going to be a bigger issue that happens. Something else is gonna happen. Hell, we saw it with LeGarrette Blount. Now, granted, he didn't hit a fan. He hit another guy from another team, some bench warmer, got in his face. But we're gonna see something bad happen. Some fan is gonna get in the wrong person's face, and it is not going to end well. I just hope that nobody blames the kid that's just trying to get to the locker room when that happens. Don't blame that kid. Because if you do, you're wrong. You're wrong. My man, Pat Cockrell, he says court storming shouldn't be banned, but there needs to be time given for the opposition to leave the court. That'll never happen. You can't. What are you going to do? Hey, storm the court, but give them 10 seconds to get off. They're not going to do that. The excitement is right in the moment. I get what you're saying. That would be real ideal. But hey, let's just say the game's at 7:00 and the game ends at 9:30. College kids, they're drunk. They're not waiting. They're getting out on that court. They're getting out on that field. So somebody said, did he die on TikTok? So because somebody didn't die, that makes it okay? Is that what we're talking about? Oh my God, who is this? Some guy named Clarky Malarkey on TikTok said he didn't die. So that's the standard that we're talking about, people. Because this kid doesn't die from somebody storming the court, nothing else matters as long as he didn't die. Gee, many Christmas. You know, there's dumb people in this world, and then there's ignorant people in this world. And sometimes all of that gets combined into one. I think we found that this morning. Now he's trying to backtrack and say it's a joke. Yeah, that you weren't trying to be funny. You're just ignorant. But we got something that we do with ignorant people. If there's a raging fire and you're not going to put it out because someone didn't die, that's exactly my thing, Chad. I mean, oh my God. Somebody didn't die. I'm not even going to keep going. We blocked him. We got him out of here. We just don't deal with ignorant people. Lord have mercy. That apparently, but that's the mentality, people. That's the mentality. Yeah, he got hurt. It wasn't that big of a deal. He didn't die, so who cares? Oh my God. As long as he doesn't die. Lord have mercy. Let's move on. So, let's move on. Court storming. Bobby Wagner showed what happens when you run onto an NFL field, Big B. Yeah, exactly right. And anybody that wants to check it out, they should go check out Bobby Wagner. Just Google Bobby Wagner court field storming.